Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Few characters have left as lasting a mark on Star Trek as Jonathan Frakes' William T. Riker. Riker in Star Trek: The Next Generation wasn't only one of the most impactful characters introduced in the series that revived the franchise. He was a career-defining role for Frakes. Throughout the show's 7 seasons, Frakes delivered a magnetic performance as Captain Picard's Patrick Stewart loyal, yet fiercely independent first officer. Over time, Riker became one of the most capable and well-rounded officers in any version of the Enterprise. His influence reached far beyond the Next Generation, with appearances across Deep Space Nine, Lower Decks, and Star Trek, Picard, and several other Star Trek shows. Jonathan Frakes' nuanced acting and command of the role made Riker an enduring fan favorite, and his best episodes prove why. The Outcast remains one of Star Trek: The Next Generation's most groundbreaking episodes, tackling issues of identity and gender long before they became common TV discussion points. Riker forms a deep emotional connection with Soren Melinda, a member of an androgynous species named the Janai, who identifies as female, a forbidden act in her society. Jonathan Frakes' performance here is subtle and sincere, blending Riker's trademark confidence with an understated tenderness rarely seen from the character. His chemistry with Culia sells the forbidden romance at the episode's core, grounding its science fiction premise in real emotional stakes. Frakes himself has called for the story to have gone further in representing same-sex relationships via Salon, which underscores how much he invested in Riker's empathy and open-mindedness. It's a performance that proves Riker in Star Trek could be both commanding and deeply compassionate. By the time of Star Trek Picard Season 3, Will Riker has evolved from ambitious first officer to seasoned leader. In 17 seconds, he's thrust back into the thick of command, navigating crisis alongside an older, more battle-hardened Picard. As an older Riker, Jonathan Frakes shines in this modern Star Trek episode, showcasing the weight of years spent making impossible choices. His restrained performance conveys experience and fatigue, yet also warmth and humor that recall his TNG days. Watching Riker clash and reconcile with Picard is a reminder of their shared history and how far both men have come. Frakes directs several Picard episodes himself, but as an actor here, he reclaims the spotlight effortlessly. 17 seconds proves that even after decades, Riker in Star Trek still commands every bridge he stands on. The Offspring marks Jonathan Frakes' directorial debut and his favorite TNG episode via Slashfilm. The story follows Data's Brent Spiner creation of an android child named Lal Holly Todd, exploring parenthood and humanity through the android's eyes. Though Frakes directed, his performance as Riker remains vital. He balances humor and sensitivity in the early scenes, reacting to Lal's naive attempts at understanding humanity with warmth and patience. It's an understated but deeply human portrayal that reinforces Riker's compassion for his crewmates. Frakes' dual contribution, both behind and in front of the camera, captures everything that makes Riker in Star Trek such a multifaceted character: professionalism, heart, and respect for the unknown. In the Lower Decks Season 1 finale, No Small Parts, Jonathan Frakes returns to voice an animated Riker commanding the USS Titan. The moment he appears, horns blaring and grin wide, it's like he never left. Despite the comedic tone of Lower Decks, Frakes plays an exaggerated Riker who has all the qualities of his TNG counterpart with much less of the nuance, which is precisely why it works. His over-the-top confidence and booming energy parody his younger self without diminishing him. It's both nostalgic and fresh, showing how effortlessly Riker fits into any era of Star Trek. No Small Parts demonstrates Frakes' natural ability to adapt his performance across mediums. Whether live action or animated, his Riker remains unmistakably heroic and hilariously himself. TNG Season 4's The Drumhead is best remembered for its courtroom drama and exploration of paranoia aboard the Enterprise. When a witch hunt for supposed traitors begins, Riker is forced to weigh loyalty against conscience. Jonathan Frakes delivers a restrained yet powerful performance, showing Riker's internal struggle as duty collides with moral integrity. His exchanges with Admiral Sadie Jean Simmons crackle with intensity, revealing a man deeply aware of the cost of blind obedience. It's a showcase of subtle strength rather than grand gestures. Frakes captures Riker's moral backbone, the quiet certainty of a man who's grown into his own command philosophy, setting the stage for his eventual captaincy. Time Zero sends the Enterprise crew back to 19th century San Francisco to rescue data from an alien plot. It's a tonal shift for TNG, a mix of a classic Star Trek time travel story and an sci-fi mystery. But Frakes grounds it with his steady, charismatic presence. Riker's leadership and decisiveness anchor the ensemble, and Frakes balances the humor of the premise with genuine urgency. His rapport with the rest of the cast, particularly with Picard and Data, reinforces the unshakable loyalty that defines Riker in Star Trek. The episode's lighter tone gives Frakes room to play with Riker's swagger and quick wit, proving that the character's confidence never overshadows his compassion or courage. It's also a perfect example of Riker being an engaging character off the bridge as well as on it. In the Next Generation Season 6's Second Chances, a transporter accident reveals a duplicate of Riker created years earlier. The result is two Rikers, each representing different paths the man could have taken. It's not only a great episode of The Next Generation, but a standout example of how much Frakes understands Riker as a character. It's a tour de force performance from Jonathan Frakes as both Will and Thomas Riker. Subtle variations in tone, posture, and attitude make each version distinct, yet recognizably the same man. His ability to play off himself so convincingly is both technically impressive and emotionally rich. Second Chances is a thematically deep episode, even for The Next Generation, and explores regret, identity, and ambition, all themes central to Riker's arc. Frakes captures the pain of confronting one's own lost potential, creating one of the most memorable acting showcases in Star Trek history. Best of Both Worlds remains one of Star Trek's defining moments, and a career high for Jonathan Frakes. When Picard is assimilated by the Borg, Riker takes command of the Enterprise and must decide whether to destroy his captain to save humanity. Frakes commands the screen with intensity and confidence, portraying Riker as both decisive leader and haunted friend. His scenes of silent reflection reveal a man burdened by duty yet driven by resolve. It's the closest Riker ever comes to surpassing his mentor, and he does it with grace. This TNG two-parter cemented Frakes as a dramatic powerhouse within the franchise. Riker in Star Trek was never more human or more heroic than here. Riker would later come to command his bridge in the Trek timeline, and it's in Best of Both Worlds that his true potential first shines. Future Imperfect is one of the best Jonathan Frakes episodes of Star Trek, not because it focuses on Riker as a Starfleet officer, but on the man behind the badge. It begins with Riker awakening 16 years in the future only to discover the life he remembers might be a lie. The episode relies almost entirely on Frakes' ability to carry its emotional weight. He portrays confusion, longing, and heartbreak with nuance, as Riker struggles to reconcile false memories of family and fatherhood. Frakes keeps the performance grounded, letting quiet gestures and fleeting expressions reveal the character's pain. Even when the illusion collapses, the episode lingers because of how authentically Frakes captures Riker's loneliness. It's a masterclass in restraint, proving that Star Trek's most powerful moments often come from its most human performances. In Frame of Mind, Riker finds himself trapped between reality and hallucination, unsure if he's still aboard the Enterprise or imprisoned in an alien asylum. It's one of TNG's darkest and most disorienting episodes, and Frakes is extraordinary throughout. His descent into paranoia is both terrifying and heartbreaking. Frakes commits completely to Riker's unraveling psyche, balancing raw fear with defiant strength. It's a showcase of range and emotional control rarely seen in Star Trek. Frame of Mind cemented Frakes as more than just the confident first officer. It proved his depth as a dramatic actor. For many fans, this remains the definitive example of Riker and Star Trek at his most human, vulnerable, and unforgettable. Few Star Trek actors embody the balance of charm, authority, and humanity quite like Jonathan Frakes. As Commander William T. Riker, the first officer of the USS Enterprise D and later the Enterprise E, Frakes brought swagger, intelligence, and emotional depth to a role that easily could have been overshadowed by Patrick Stewart's Captain Picard. Instead, Riker became an essential pillar of Star Trek, the next generation, and one of the franchise's most enduring figures. Across television, film, and even later guest appearances, Frakes' portrayal of Riker evolved from confident young officer to seasoned leader, mentor, and husband. Here are Jonathan Frakes' 10 best Star Trek performances as Riker, each capturing a different side of the man behind the beard and the legend behind the chair lean. If there's a single episode that defined Riker's leadership, this is it. With Picard captured and assimilated by the Borg, Riker suddenly found himself in command of the Enterprise under unimaginable pressure. Frakes delivered a powerhouse performance, showing a man torn between his loyalty to his captain and his duty to Starfleet. His defiant fire cliffhanger remains one of Trek's most iconic moments. The episode pushed Riker to grow beyond the shadow of Picard and made him a true leader in his own right. Frakes played Riker as visibly burdened yet resolute, his confidence tempered by pain. You could see the gears turning, the moral weight pressing on him. It was a career-defining moment both for the character and the actor. In this psychological thriller, Frakes gave perhaps his most intense and layered performance. Riker becomes trapped in a nightmarish loop, uncertain whether he's performing in a play or truly losing his mind in an alien asylum. Frakes handled the script's surreal shifts brilliantly, conveying paranoia, vulnerability, and confusion without ever losing Riker's innate strength. Watching him question reality while clinging to logic made the episode one of TNG's boldest character studies. Frame of Mind proved that Frakes could carry an entire episode on pure emotional force, and he did it flawlessly. Few actors get the chance to play opposite themselves, but Frakes handled double duty with nuance and skill. The episode's discovery of Thomas Riker, a transporter duplicate stranded years earlier, forced Will Riker to confront who he once was and what he'd sacrificed for ambition. Frakes played both men with subtle distinctions. Thomas more idealistic and vulnerable, Will more hardened and cautious. The scenes between the two Rikers shimmer with tension and melancholy, giving Frakes a rare opportunity to explore regret and lost potential. It's a masterclass in duality, and one of the best uses of the clone trope in Trek history. While much of the spotlight in First Contact shines on Picard's obsession with the Borg, Frakes, who also directed the film, anchored the B-plot on Earth. His Riker here was mature, decisive, and filled with quiet confidence, leading a team to ensure Zefram Cochrane's historic warp flight succeeds. What makes this performance shine is restraint. Frakes didn't overplay heroism or emotion. Instead, his Riker was calm under pressure, providing steady leadership. His interactions with Cochrane revealed the best of Riker's humor and diplomacy. It's easy to overlook because the film's main story is so intense, but Frakes' grounded portrayal keeps the entire movie balanced. In this morally complex episode, Riker is haunted by his past on the USS Pegasus and a secretive mission gone wrong. When the ship is rediscovered, Riker must confront Admiral Pressman, his former commanding officer, and the illegal cloaking technology aboard. Frakes infused Riker with guilt, conflict, and honor. You could feel years of suppressed emotion boiling beneath his calm facade. His final stand, defying Pressman to tell Picard the truth, marks one of Riker's most mature and courageous moments. Frakes' performance captures the essence of Starfleet integrity, doing the right thing, even when it costs you everything. This episode begins as a fascinating what-if scenario. Riker wakes up 16 years in the future, now captain of the Enterprise, with no memory of the intervening years. Frakes' performance balances confusion, curiosity, and cautious optimism until the illusion starts to unravel. As Riker's suspicion grows, Frakes expertly shifts from wonder to heartbreak when he learns the truth. It's all a fabrication created by a lonely alien child. The tenderness he shows toward the boy in the final scene proves just how deeply Riker's compassion runs. It's one of those rare performances where Star Trek's humanity shines brighter than its technology. Riker falls in love with Soren, a member of an androgynous species forbidden from expressing gender identity. Frakes tackled the role with sincerity and empathy, transforming what could have been a simple, forbidden romance episode into a deeply human exploration of identity and acceptance. Frakes' chemistry with Melinda Soren is electric yet understated. His emotional plea for Soren's freedom in the courtroom remains one of the most heartfelt speeches in TNG's history. In retrospect, Frakes has often said he wished the role had been cast more boldly, but his performance stands as a testament to his emotional intelligence as an actor. The series finale gave Frakes one last chance to embody Riker across 3 timelines: the past, present, and future. He captured the subtle changes of age and experience with ease, playing young Riker's brashness, present Riker's balance, and future Riker's guarded wisdom. What made this performance special wasn't just continuity, it was heart. You could feel the love Frakes had for this family of characters and the gratitude he felt for the journey. His final poker scene smile at Picard's arrival said everything without a single line of dialogue. Frakes' return as Riker in Picard Season 3 was a revelation. Older, wiser, and touched by grief, his portrayal added new dimensions to the character. Riker wasn't just a confident officer anymore. He was a man haunted by loss and rediscovering purpose. The dynamic between Frakes and Patrick Stewart was richer than ever, filled with unspoken history and genuine affection. Whether trading barbs, commanding a starship, or mourning his son, Frakes made Riker feel utterly real. His quiet strength and emotional vulnerability gave Picard's 3rd season its heart. Before the beard, before the legend, there was the measure of a man. This courtroom episode saw Riker forced to prosecute his friend, Data, arguing that the android was property rather than person. It's one of the earliest examples of Frakes' emotional depth. His eyes reveal the agony of betraying his principles for the sake of duty. Frakes walked a razor's edge between professionalism and heartbreak, and his performance elevated the script into one of Trek's all-time classics. When Riker reluctantly activates Data's off switch in court, his shame is palpable. It was here that Frakes proved Riker wasn't just a charismatic first officer. He was a man of conscience and soul. The legacy of Riker. Jonathan Frakes has given Star Trek fans a performance legacy that spans decades. From bold commander to compassionate mentor, his Riker is the bridge between the dream of exploration and the reality of leadership. His humor, humanity, and heroism define not just a character, but a philosophy. Confidence tempered by heart. Whether sitting backward in a chair or commanding the Enterprise with that trademark smirk, Frakes' Riker remains one of Trek's most beloved icons. And after all these years, one truth endures: wherever Riker goes, adventure follows. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and stay with us.